Cassie, so what made you want to get into downhill mountain biking?
Through school, I've been riding since I was young and that, but just school has a mountain biking competition, and they have a competition every year in March, and I just raced that, and that was only going to be a one-off, but I got into it.
Tell me about so what goes through your head right before you're about to cross, before you're about to start?
Just nerves and that. Just, you got maybe either I'm following down a chick or she's chasing me, or just a bit worried about that. That's the one thing that makes you crash. You're thinking about someone behind you, you're thinking about someone in front of you, and just makes you crash. But you just got to try and knock that out of your head and just focus on your own race, not the other person's race.
So how do you do that? Do you have any kind of tricks to keep your eye on the prize?
I do actually. If I am about to, I don't know, someone's going to catch me, but people normally don't. But I just talk to myself in the race. If I'm out of breath, I don't know, swear at myself and tell myself to settle down and all that. So I actually do talk to myself in my races.
And so how young were you when you did your first race?
I was about 12 years old.
And so what went through your mind in that first race? So something that you've never done before?
It was pretty scary, but got the hang of it and don't have much fear of it anymore, so yeah.
And so whereabouts have you travelled to compete?
Well, my furthest is New Zealand, but I've travelled to Toowoomba, up in Queensland, down to Victoria, down to Thredbo, Canberra, and then just all over Australia basically.
So obviously they give you trophies and kind of thing if you do.
Yeah, so some of these trophies are, that one's from Cannonball, that's from Cannonball. Basically nearly all of them are from Cannonball, and then some of them are for winning state titles and all that.
What type of event is Cannonball?
Cannonball's where you compete in downhill, bit wars, all mountain flow and pump track, and you have, I think it's about 5 days competition, and I came first in all of them except for all mountain. I came second.
And second's pretty good. Were you disappointed coming second?
I wasn't disappointed in second because Jeremy and I have been training for so long to get me ready for that race, and that's pretty good for my fitness level too. It was.
Yeah, that's it.
It was. It's just going up a jump and then doing whips and all that. Pump track is pumping. Downhill is my main race, which is just downhill, rocky, steep.
Have you ever been injured?
Yes, I had a big accident in 2016 down in Warrenora Heights, which is down the road from me, and had a seat going to my leg and ripped my elbow down to the bone, which ended up in hospital for 3 days getting surgery and stitched back up.
Yeah, tell me about.
I was 2 centimetres off the artery, so the main artery.
Okay. What did your parents did they have any hesitations about you doing this sport after that type of an injury?
No, not really. I just told me to jump back on a bike and just work towards the racing again and go hard. New Zealand, when I was racing in Crankworth, which is racing against girls all over the world, and came to the downhill day and it was raining and I had to change tyres, and the tyres were working really well until I got the first corner and just slid out, rolled down the hill and went back, hit my head on the grass, and I got taken down for a concussion test because they're really strict in New Zealand, and I thought, no, I'm not going pretty good at the moment with my head. I've got memory loss, I've got headaches and dizziness and all that, so I get results back soon. When I say memory loss, I lost my wallet 2 weeks ago and couldn't find it. Mum said trace your steps, and I couldn't trace my steps, whereas I used to be able to, and been getting really bad headaches.
What would you say to any other girls that wanted to, young girls who wanted to get into the sport?
Start at, I don't know, your local club, start riding downhill. I ride at Green Valley, so that got me really confident, and go to a club round, build up that, go to a state round. If you're confident with that, go to a national round. If you're confident with that, go to World Cup.
If they made the sport a Commonwealth sport or an Olympic sport, would you be interested in that?
Yeah, definitely. If I get picked for the team, you've got to get picked in that. I reckon there's going to be more girls interested, and I reckon more girls are going to come in and race, find out where racing is. And